Well, hello there. And this is Auntie and the Bishop. And we are here to do our review of Ready to Love, Season 6, Episode 9, Secrets and Betrayals. Are you ready, Bishop?
I think I'm ready. Not necessarily for the secrets of the betrayal, but we'll see.
Okay.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that everybody needs.
You can make this up.
Now, you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lies, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay?
So, everybody, my name is Auntie, and this is my guest host, co-host Bishop. And if this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. To all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. Bishop, why don't you tell them where they can find you on YouTube?
Auntie, thanks for having me again. You can find me right here on YouTube on Let's Talk to Cutler. I show up there every Tuesday and Thursday live at 8 o'clock trying to offer some inspiration and motivation. Auntie, if I could just put in a plug, I tell people, show up. I'm just trying to help you show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today. That's all.
Okay, and you do such a great job, Bishop. I hate when the notification don't work because it be you'll be here and you'll be gone so fast.
1,800 seconds.
And you don't play with them either. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bishop, what would you rate this episode overall?
With all of its twists and turns, I was going to give it a C, but I've got to give it a B minus. I had to give it a B minus. I thought about a C because there were some things going on that I didn't like. But then I said, Bishop, you can't rate the show just based on things that you don't like. You helped me out with that, so I had to go back and sort of look at the report card again. I gave the whole show a B minus. That episode.
Okay, I gave it a B. I gave it a flat B.
Okay.
I thought that with all the twists and just the realness that appeared to come out of it, I thought it was worthy of that. Not quite an A, but a B.
Not quite an A.
A B nonetheless. So Bishop, I am going to absolutely let you lead this. Okay, let's go.
Let's go. But let me say this, though. You look beautiful and ready for the summer.
Thank you, Bishop. I am. Except for minus the cicadas.
Minus the cicadas.
Those bitches is horrible.
I know. So those who don't have to deal with cicadas, count your blessings.
I had my lawn guy come out yesterday to do the lawn because, he does all the mulching and the beautification and everything. And because the cicadas have been so bad, Bishop, I've got to have him come out every 2 weeks and just pull the weeds for me. And when he came, he said, there's no way in the world that our cicadas are this bad.
They're bad.
They're bad.
They're bad. But then they're not going to stop our flow this evening. They're not going to stop our flow. Auntie, they pushed us right in the swimming pool at the beginning of this episode. Right at the beginning. So you got your seatbelt on. I always have to make sure that your door is closed and your seatbelt is on. Look at you.
I got two.
All right. At the top of the episode, they took off from where the last one left. And they took us right to the elimination. And we saw Liz and David and Alexis and Ron. Liz and David were having a conversation with what we thought was going to become a conversation. And it was what I call a tete-a-tete, back and forth. Who's going to talk first? Who's going to stand up? Who's going to sit down? Who's going to open the door? Who's going to close the door? Who's going to jump through 3 hoops? I couldn't figure out who was going to do what. And at some point, Auntie, I kind of got tired of trying to figure out who was right and who was wrong in that situation. So when I finally heard David say 2 words, I thought, let me do this. They were talking, and Liz was saying, David, can I talk? Can I talk? You're a gentleman, aren't you? Are you going to let the lady talk first? Can I talk? He said, no, Liz, I want to talk. I got something I want to say. I self-eliminated. She said, whoa, what are you going to tell me? What do you mean self-eliminated? David didn't want to talk to anybody. He told the production team, no questions. Don't ask me any questions. I'm a man of God. I saw the devil coming. I wanted to get ahead of the devil because I didn't want the devil in my life to mess up stuff. So I self-eliminated.
But then he had the audacity to say, if you want to start all over again, we can. Did you hear him? When he said that, he said, I self-eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
I came to tell you why, or the process I went through to self-eliminate. But if you want to start all over again, we can. What the kind of crap is that? He did not want to be embarrassed. And he did not want her to say, you're not ready to love, but she threw it in there anyway. She
And
said,
he responded,
you're not ready to love. You know, I never realized how much of her teeth and her tongue she uses to speak. You're a gentleman, aren't you? Aren't you a gentleman to let your ladies talk? Yeah, I said, what the whole hell is going on? I never noticed it because you know what? He caught. I think I'm feeling a little kind of different way about Liz. Okay. This prim, proper Southern Belle church woman isn't so Southern Belle when she's caught off guard. And then you get to really see all that, that.
oh, well, Auntie.
I just thought it was too much, and I thought that when he stood up and then she stood up with him, it appeared that it got really escalated, right? And it did because he stood up and she stood up with him. But when he said that he was self-eliminating, right? And I mean, I'm not saying that he was right about what he did. Okay, I'm not
right. Okay.
saying that he was right about what he did. I thought that at that time when she said, well, why didn't you tell me? It was more important to her to stay on script than it was to hear what he had to say. And I kind of took issue with it once I saw the whole story. What did you think about that, Bishop?
I thought, as you and I often have conversations, that communication is always important. And Liz lost track of what was important in that moment. There was nothing that she could have said that was going to redeem that moment. He'd made up his mind. And a lot of times I think when people are talking, they're talking just to get their point out, but not to really communicate. At that point, he said, this is no longer important to me. I'm ready to love. You're ready to love. Well, he didn't get a chance to say I'm ready to love just yet because like a little kid, she seemed to just throw it out. Well, you're not ready to love. And he
right,
said,
because he wanted to make sure as a producer, as an actress, as a singer, as all that she stayed on script and that she got that out. To me, it wasn't even important at that point. Once he said he self-eliminated, okay.
Yeah.
And now, did he handle it incorrectly? Absolutely, but they both did.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that for me, it would have been more important to know why he did it, as opposed to knowing that he did it. Does that make sense to you, Bishop?
Yes, ma'am. You're right on target with that. You're absolutely right. It seemed to have been. It would have been more beneficial to her
to know why.
To know why. because I think that's what she wanted to get at. I don't think she handled it the best way she could, and certainly I didn't question him when he talked about I'm a man of God. But for David, for whatever reasons, I don't necessarily think you handled it the best way you could. Whether you were trying to say, "Hey, I messed up, I handled you wrong," whether you were saying, "Hey, I'm uncomfortable with this whole process," whether you were just trying to say, I don't have any energy left, whatever the case may be, I think you could have said that. I think in escalated moments, even though we don't practice this as much as I wish people could, we fail to realize we still have to communicate even in those escalated moments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even in those escalated moments. I remember, you didn't even know I was going to say this, but I remember one evening you were talking, and I thought you handled an escalated moment so well. I think I called you, maybe even sent you a text message about it. I'll refresh your memory afterwards. But you handled that well. It was just a moment. You weren't angry, but it was an emotional moment for you. So when I say escalated, it could be escalated because you're extremely sad or extremely mad or extremely happy. People forget you've got to communicate in those moments because there's going to be a moment after that moment. Going to be a moment after that moment.
Thank you, Bishop. I thought, and then when she said he didn't want to take responsibility for his actions, what actions was that? Was that the actions with Clarence, the confrontation between these two men who were going head to head? Was this the action where he said, "I put you up on this particular pedestal"? And like, what actions was she asking him to take responsibility for, and who was she to believe that he would even agree that he needed to take I was so confused about Liz's position of superiority in this. I don't believe that it ever got communicated. And if why are you smiling like that, Bishop?
Because I agree with you. I agree with you. She kept using the words talking about he was irate and irrational. I didn't see where he was so irate.
Me either.
I didn't see where he was so irrational.
Right. And just the clarity that you brought last week that dropped my mouth to my knees about how Clarence handled him. And then of course we saw them I saw them on Instagram. Okay, there was an invite put out. I won't say who did the invite for you and I to join her Instagram live. And he still was in the same position. And I'm thinking she was trying to justify why she brought Clarence. She said that her and Clarence grew up together, that they tried to date. And this is why she classified him as an ex, but he wasn't an ex-boyfriend. He was a friend.
Yeah.
That's why they only had one kiss when they was 16. Like, bitch, you went all the way back to middle school to find a man that would do what? That would challenge him in a way that you wanted him to be challenged. I did, Bishop. I feel some kind of way about Liz.
Okay, we see eye to eye. We see eye to eye, and we agree. So that meant, and I hated to do that so early, but for those who are watching Auntie for the first time, shame on you, first of all.
Okay.
and this second, what we've been doing, we're not throwing people away. We don't believe in throwing people away. But for this moment, this didn't work for David, so we just put him back in the recycle bin and said, "David, you're somebody's trophy, my brother, but hey, recycle bin, try all over." That didn't work.
And then he said, one of the things that kind of made me kind of think, right? When he said, "I'm ready to love, she's ready to love, but when I see the devil coming in," which I thought was stupid, but okay, I'm going to back myself out before he said, no questions, right? But you're on the contract, and so you're going to have to answer some kind of question. And he was just like, "I'm out of here." I did think that he cowered away. I think that there was another way that he could have used to diffuse the situation, maybe. But Liz at this point was heightened, felt like she was losing the war.
She did. Yeah, she did.
I think she did, Bishop. With Bishop, I think she felt like she was losing the war with him. She wanted to have that "I got you." in this
Yeah.
situation. She really, really did.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's why she threw that. You're not ready to love out. I thought, Liz, come on, that's not important. And I think a lesson that we all could learn from that is sometimes silence is the best response. Sometimes the best
Absolutely. And
response.
so let's go to Ron. Oh my God.
Ooh, Ron and Alexis. When the episode picked up with where Ron and Alexis left off the last time, when Ron had told Alexis that,
What can
uh,
you do for me?
wow, I had my opinions in that moment. You know, I'm at heart a Southerner, and men just don't should not mistreat women. You just don't do it. You, if the opportunity presents itself, yeah, there are times when you can, but you don't
Hmm.
do it. You
Right.
you 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 take the upper road, and I guess I learned that from Auntie. I was blessed to have my great grandfather around. So I
Okay.
grew up with a great grandfather, a grandfather, my father, his generation. And I watched how they modeled that for me. And you just don't disrespect or mishandle or mistreat women. So as Ron is talking to Alexis and he's being condescending and saying you can't offer me anything, she said, "Well, do you hear yourself? Do you really hear yourself?" And so then she said, "Well, listen, let me just get to the point. We've decided you're not ready to love." He personally attacked her.
Yes, he did.
He personally attacked her.
Yes, he
She
did.
said she came representing the sisters and said, "We decided." He said, "I thought more of you. I thought you were better than that. I thought you were smarter than that." So he personally attacked her. And at that point, I thought, you just need to get up and leave right now. She was gracious, though. So my feelings changed about Alexis in that moment. You know me. My feelings changed in that moment because I thought she's being gracious.
Not for me. My feelings didn't change one bit about.
Okay, but she stood up and hugged him, and she said, have a great trip, drive back to wherever you're going." And then I thought, oh, she has a little cattiness in her too, because she's
Absolutely.
because then she came back. No, so I felt a little sad for her in a way with his personal attack, but then it didn't last too long because he came back. She came back and said, "Keep praying, Alexis, let it go."
Yes, and she know he's not a praying man at all, Bishop. Proud bitch. My feelings towards her did not change. I thought that she needed to. I thought that her words got lost in not having different synonyms for contempt. And that I had it just being sometimes the shady woman that I can be. I had pulled up some synonyms for her for the word contempt.
Why am I not surprised?
Just to give her a variety of other words that she could use in the dictionary. But then I thought, Bishop, I have company, and I should not act that way with Bishop. But I did not. I thought that her words got lost, and I thought that there was another way she could have handled Ron.
Oh,
Because
really?
because after all, Ron chose her, and that's not how you treat someone who chooses you.
Hmm.
By bringing them to the table, and you know you I just felt like it was just I just thought that you was Alexis. If you talking for the group, you're talking for the group,
Mm-hmm.
then it shouldn't have been your situation that sent him home. It should
Hmm.
have been a combination of what happened with the other women. So just say I felt like you wasn't ready to love. And Ron probably wasn't. But hearing what Ron, I thought that Ron was more upfront than anybody in the group. Did I feel like Ron got his feelings hurt and threw daggers at the end and attacked her with the Amber conversation and the chrysanthemum? Because according to Ron, he also had a conversation with her and Amber on other interviews. They have the conversation was had about chrysanthemum as well, and Alexis was aware that he was dating these two women, and what was wrong with Ron kissing her. I just she too needy for me, Bishop. I thought that the way that she handled Ron, she could have handled Ron a different way and letting Ron know that he was ready to love. She made it
Wow.
very personal. And instead of just saying, because she said she she glories in the fact that she makes these men into religious men, but you can't keep none of them. And then and then you sit there and you, in my opinion, you emasculate the man. I felt like she emasculated him. And I felt like the words that Ron used, while he does appear to have chauvinistic ways, I felt like he felt under attack, especially when she was talking about what she could do for him. And he was like, well, what can you do for me? The average person, Bishop, if you really think about it, if you were in that position, you would ask the same question. What can you do for me? You understand what I'm saying? And it came off wrong. The editing came off wrong. But I could understand that if you being attacked about, things and being told that you're condescending, that you're, you I don't know, Bishop. I just felt some kind of way about the way she handled him. And I
Wow.
think she could have done a better job of handling this man. You were not with this man because you liked him. You were with this man because he chose you. And so really you didn't have any feelings. You were wasting his month and time. You were wasting his time the whole time. Wasting his time. He could have been with Chrysanthemum. And according to Ron and other people on the cast, he was trying to self eliminate and he stayed there for her.
Wow.
Now, some of the
Okay.
women in the comments, I ain't even gonna look at the comments, may not like what I'm saying, but I think that there's a way that you handle everybody. Bishop, if you and I had a disagreement on here, there's a certain way I'm gonna handle you. I'm
Yeah.
not going to start talking to you about what I can do for you and all of this kind of stuff, and you condescending, Bishop, and you this and that, and think that you're not, as a man, as a human being, going to defend yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead. Give it to me, Bishop. Give it to me.
Well, we don't see eye to eye on this one. We don't see eye to eye on this one.
Why don't we, Bishop?
Because the one piece that I think that I just it gives me pause is, yes, he chose her, but I don't think she necessarily owed him anything.
And he didn't owe her nothing either.
This is true, but after she says, "Hey, you're not ready to love. I'm not gonna let you talk to me like that." I don't think the fact that he
Talk to her like
because
what? Respond?
yeah, I just thought that he was disrespectful. I thought so for him to say to
For what
her,
we saw.
I think that there may have been more than we saw, but so for him to say, "Hey, you can't offer me anything," and then for him to say, "I thought more of you than that. I thought you were smarter than that." I thought those were personal attacks, which I just didn't think that was appropriate. And she responded, "Hey, do you hear yourself? I'm not going to let you sit here and talk to me like that." Then his response was, "Oh, and by the way, just so that you'll know, I had a date with Amber. I've been talking to Amber and I kissed Amber." That to me was childish because that was one of those, okay, so now that you're telling me I'm off the show, by the way, I'm going to throw a personal dagger and I'm going to get you. And I thought, wow, so Ron, she came representing the women. You're still aiming at her personally. You're telling her you thought she was smarter. You thought, she was better than that. And by the way, I'm going to get you. I just didn't
But
have
she
a
made
whole.
it personal, though, Bishop, because she did not talk about it. She made it personal, Bishop. She talked about the date with, when he was talking about the guy being religious and the religion was oozing off of him.
Yes,
She didn't talk about, even though she came to the table and said,
that is true.
no, we don't believe you're ready to love. She made it all personal. So he had no other choice but to respond. Yeah, he threw daggers. but and he was disrespectful in a sense. But again, Bishop, we didn't see the whole conversation, and
We
I do
didn't.
believe that there was some things. I am going to count some of this, Bishop, to editing. I truly am. I cannot wait to hear what Amber has to say about Ron, because he was dating Amber Chrysanthemum, and
Yes.
I cannot wait to hear what these women have to say about Ron. I can't wait. I don't trust Alexis. I think Alexis played the game. I think she used him to stay on the show longer. I want to believe that. And so she wasted this man's time only to sit in front of him and tear him down like that. I just fuck that bitch.
Well, you know what I couldn't wait for? After he disrespected her, in my mind, after he disrespected and talked to her like that, and I wanted to say, brother, where I come from, we don't talk to women like that. So guess what? I didn't have many more words to say. Recycle bin. I just didn't have a whole lot to say for him. I that wasn't good.
It
From my
wasn't good.
yeah,
It
yeah,
wasn't good. But I do believe that we as women are tactful. Um, I believe that Alexis has been very tactful, and I cannot imagine finding myself being used by someone when I said I wanted to leave, and then and I just think it's probably production,
yeah, yeah.
but I thought that that was just doggy.
Good word. I like. Yeah, yeah. Doggy.
I ain't like it, Bishop. Don't do that
Well,
to that man.
well. I tell you what though. You may not have liked it, but you know what? You remember your prediction? You were spot on. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Here I was saying David, but guess what? You pulled them both out of the hat.
I knew he
So
was going.
yeah, you were spot on.
She had no need for him anymore.
Yeah.
She had no need for him anymore. And like you said, when she cut him low, keep praying, she cut the brother low. She know he's not a religious man, so she was just being sarcastic and nasty. And I can't mess with the Bishop. Let's move on.
Let's move on to the. Tommy took him to the gentleman's lounge and said, "Hey, you're gonna go to the gentleman's lounge. I got this set up, arranged because you never know people until you spend time with them." Tells them that he's going to send them to this resort, and off to the resort they go. Off to the resort they go, and it, it, things changed. They all showed up. They got there. They got inside. Tommy had this wonderful setup for them. Tell them food's going to be there, party's going to be there, all this stuff is going to be there. And he said, "But you guys, you hold the power, gentlemen. You hold the power because now we have an odd number: 4 guys, 5 women. You guys hold the power. Get to know them." And conversation started. It was really moving. Joe was talking about when they were inside how he was secure with his decisions. Amber.
What, Bishop? What? What?
Auntie, they were all there. They were all talking. They were inside. And Amber said to Joel, "Was Kyra your number one?" Vernisha was crushed. She was hurt. She was crushed. She didn't know how to process this. And she said, "I'm seriously hurt." She said to Joel, "Man, listen, I have never done anything to deliberately hurt you." Once again, I'm looking at the sister's face, looking in her eyes. I felt real bad for her. Vernisha. I felt really, really bad for her. She was trying to make a point to say, "Well, you've always been my number one, Joel. And you would throw me away just for something like that."
But what
They were
did you think about him not? Okay, so he got mad at Amber and was like, "Who's spilling the tea?" Of course, we all know it was Ron, right? Ron
yes,
was spilling the tea. He's been on by his own admission, breaking the rules. And trying to really date these women, right? He's been dating them
Yes,
off scene, I mean, off the set.
that's right.
So he's been establishing that, he really wants a relationship with someone and he doesn't just want this to be just good TV.
Hmm.
So he tells Amber what Joel said. Why would he, Bishop? I'm asking you as a man. I wanted to know. Why would a man break bro code and do that? Was this a get back at Joel? Why would he do that to Joel? Why would a man break bro code?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it gets to character and integrity.
Hmm.
I think it gets to the core of who you are. If there is a code of ethics, whatever that code is, either we're going to abide by it, either we all are going to abide by it, or we're just going to throw the rules out the window.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So what would motivate or move him to do that? I have no idea.
Do you think that he just wanted to expose that Joel isn't who he's saying he is? Was this a personal attack against Joel?
I don't know if it was that so much, Auntie, or if, as we both have talked about, if it were just a matter of production, playing the game, good TV, bad TV, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I didn't see so much. I haven't seen so much tension between the brothers. I haven't seen a lot of stress going on, challenging and all that. Yeah, in their own testosterone and male ego kind of way. They know it's a game. They know it's a game, and they're doing that. But they, up to this point, they seem to have been at least on above board with these last few brothers. Not all that we have seen, but they just seem to have been among themselves. So they may be playing the sisters, playing the girls, but just among themselves. I haven't seen them do a lot of underhanded kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That
but
makes me
so
think.
that's why I was wondering what would make him tell Amber about Joe, and then given the fact that this happened 2 weeks ago, and he never said anything, and it was like Ron wanted to expose Joe on purpose because this was 2 weeks ago.
Hmm.
Why is this just coming up? And then I thought that if Amber had not said that, even though it wasn't none of her business, she was shady boots when she did it. Vernice would have never known. This mother
Never.
wasn't going to tell her. Do you think that he was going to tell her? He said, I should have told her that. Yeah, but you should have told her that a week or two ago. You all had a spat in an argument. And based on one argument, like she said, you're ready to give me up?
Yeah.
You ready to throw in the towel over one argument? And I think that Ron wanted to expose him because evidently there had to have been, this is my mind thinking, a conversation amongst the men where it was disclosed that Joe had not told Vernisha.
Yeah. Yeah. And you think Ron felt like she deserved to know? Yeah.
I think that
I.
Ron the
Yeah.
whole time has been against the game playing. I think
Okay.
that I do, Bishop. I do. And I think he's male chauvinist. I think he's trifling his dog. You know what? But I do believe that he has been wanting to expose production
Hmm.
and the
Okay.
phoniness of all of this. And that was his reason for telling Amber.
Okay. Well, he certainly told her. He told her, and she
Vernisha
let
wouldn't
it be
know.
known.
Vernisha wouldn't know. Joe wanted he playing a game. Because remember when he said, I want to make sure that I solidify this thing before they send me home?
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
that, Bishop? What was that? Who says that? If there's a connection, there's a connection. Why are you going home? Because you knew you've been doing dirt behind the scenes. He has the inability to properly communicate with people, and it dehumanizes you. If I'm sitting around waiting to go out on a date and eat with you, and you don't even have enough respect to call me and say,
For 3 hours. Yeah. Yeah.
he ain't really feeling Vernisha, in my opinion. I think that this is him staying on the show. I'm really, and I like him, all of that kind of stuff. He's a man's man and all that, but When it comes to Vernisha, there's too many things that he's doing wrong. He didn't even want to apologize. It took Chris to go outside, hear Vernisha talking, and come back in and tell his brother, man, this is a hurt woman. And then he's trying to kiss it away. It devalues you as a woman. I'm trying to talk to you as a man and tell you how I feel, and you want to kiss me and all of that, dumb stuff. Like, what do you think, Bishop?
I totally agree. The word that came to my mind was objectify.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah. There's so much power in the words "I'm sorry" when it comes from the heart, when nobody has to make you say it, when you really mean it. I'm sorry is one of the strongest bridge builders that I would have ever stood on in my whole life. Because it takes what was broken and puts it back together and gives people the option as to whether or not they want to stand on it. Because Joel is broken. When you say I'm sorry, it's up to Vernisha as to whether or not she wants to stand on it. And how she responds. I thought the way he played around and objectified her, wanted to hug and
Yeah.
kiss, and at the Seagram's bar and in the kitchen and all this kind of stuff. She's like, no, listen, And she knew herself. She said, I know that my body is going to respond to him because it get all tingling and all that stuff. But she was honest. She said, it's about more than this. It's about just apologize. Just say I'm sorry because you got my heart. I've yeah.
I always talk about flags. She ain't seeing these flags. I mean, this looks like almost like the Olympics opening to me.
I love the way you put that.
It's just so many flags.
The parade of the flags, right?
Yes, it's so many flags, and she's not seeing them because you're getting tingling in the inside.
Yeah.
Bishop,
Yeah.
I don't know, and then, she goes out and she talks about him to everybody, which brings everybody in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But this she says, I just need my space, but I'll come back around. But you done brought everybody in and now everybody has an opinion. If you know you want to take the man back, women, men, then don't go to your family and your friends and talk about them and tell everybody about them. Resolve the issue with them alone. That's how you drag people into stuff. You talk about
Auntie. Please talk.
you want to talk about your spouse or your mate or your friend to your other friends in order to process through something, but you have no intention of breaking up with them, but you want them to break up with them. You want them to side with you, and then when you get back together, you don't build a bridge for that to happen. See, she handled that in private, right, with him. Well, when I get mad and everything, I just need my space. Give space from everybody. Because you can't go back and fix what you said. You can't go back and fix those damaged emotions or those damaged oh my God, what's the word I want to use?
You're right. Emotions, relationships,
Perception,
opinions.
opinions of that person. You didn't fix that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people do that in relationships and you never fix that. And then you go back together and then you want to sleep with them. But to me, Joel is showing so many signs. And the thing about it was, allegedly, Kyra went and told Joel, she said, don't fucking play with me. We didn't see that.
Right.
She told Joe, don't use my name. Ain't a damn thing going on between the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
She said that she told him, you got them babies, and I don't want to take care of your babies. I don't want to come into a ready-made family like that. I'm not at the maturity level where I want to do that. Don't fucking play with me. And I believe that had a lot to do with him going back and apologizing too, because he had people confronting him. And if he thought he could get away with that with Kyra, they probably would have played into the game. But when he found out that Kyra ain't playing to the game, now you got to make it right.
I like that, and I hope some of your nieces and nephews are picking up those nuggets that you're dropping. That's why I just stop and sat back, Auntie. When it comes to relationships, a lot of times people will, if you and I are dating, I go and tell my boys and the women in my life something about you. It taints them against you. You and I can come back together and be good. But then now I have to worry about what did I say to them because that my boys might not like Auntie. The
Based
females in my
on what
family
you said.
because of what I said. That's exactly right. So be careful when you go back and tell people stuff that will poison them against the people you're dating because they may not be as forgiving as you are. It's your relationship. Keep it to yourself. But if you make the mistake and go and run your mouth to your
Build
boys
a
and your
bridge.
girls about the person you're dating, count your blessings if you have a KG in your life. Because Chris at least came back and went to Joel and said, Joel, man, I'm not going to play with this behind your back and act like she didn't say it and act like that I don't know it. I need to come to you directly and say to you, listen, are you upfront with her? Are you being 100? What's going on? Because what I saw out there, the sister is hurt. KG got points for me for handling that with integrity.
Yes.
Yeah. But everybody doesn't do that. So
And then
I
the
was.
thing about it too is if you damage your partner, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
you go out to your friends and everything, you should have a conversation with your partners and take responsibility and own up for any lies that you said because you're gonna have to build a bridge back with your friends for your
Mm-hmm.
friends to be able to reconcile what they believe. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
people don't do that. Build a fucking bridge.
Clean all your mess up.
Clean it up.
You had a whole oil spill, but now you want to go and clean up this little dab with a piece of paper towel. No, you had a big
No.
oil spill. Yeah. We see eye to eye. We see eye to eye on this one right here. Yeah, Joel, come on. Yeah, and then Vernisha, you went out and told everybody. Yeah, both of y'all. Yeah.
I mean, she was talking from the sun up to damn sundown about the same all day.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, Auntie, how many times could we see that peach and orange outfit on her? Because she just kept wearing it, and all I was hearing that she wasn't happy, and she wasn't happy. Let me just say, she was not happy, and yes, she was hurt. But come on, Vernisha, sister, you got to learn how to process it. And you're not 21.
No, she got teenage daughters.
You're a mother, so you have to model how to handle the disappointments in life. You have to model how
they're going to be there. They're going to be there.
Yeah. And communication is about choosing the right space, right when to talk, where to talk, how to talk, and why to talk, and who to say it to, who to share it with.
And then the thing about it is she took them back so quickly.
Didn't she?
I said, yes. I mean, at least get a pocketbook out the damn deal. At least get,
Wait a minute. Hold on. Whenever I do that, I'm trying to take a break from what Auntie just said. Get a pocketbook out the deal.
Get a pocketbook, some flowers delivered to the ranch. I mean, get something out the damn deal. Since you ignoring flags.
Right.
I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying, Bishop. I was so disappointed in her and how she handled the situation. Now, there could have been some things that happened that we missed that was, on the floor of the editor's office. But I'm just like, Vernisha, you gave in too quick. What does that say about you? These women love these men who objectify, who minimize, who cause trauma, heart trauma. These kind of men.
Wow.
If you love me and you care about me and you feeling any kind of way about me, if we have an argument, boo, let's talk about it.
Right.
You ain't got to go and throw me under the bus in front of all the men. Because when he said Kyra in that room, all the men felt some kind of way about it because they was like, where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
did that's where the disrespect started
Hmm.
amongst your peers.
And you're
Amongst
right.
men.
That may have been when Ron, it may have just shocked him to the point where he's thinking, this is the most unrealistic thing that I've heard. Now, and Ron was probably thinking at that point, is this brother really playing the game? Because
Yeah.
so far, it's been Venetia. Now, all of a sudden, Kyra, even though we later found out what it was about, but you don't break your loyalties. Every relationship is tried and will be tried,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't break your loyalties. You just don't break them. And
Including
if
friendships.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead, Bishop. And if what?
I was gonna say, and if you break them, be strong enough and gracious enough to go back and know how to mend them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To know how to mend them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was some stuff going on. Next thing we saw, what was it? Our girl Liz and Jason out at the gazebo.
First
Liz
of all, the horseback riding thing was a disaster. It was a waste. I really, seriously, Bishop, I fast forwarded through it.
Did you notice I skipped right over that? Titan stepped on somebody's shoe, stepped on Liz's foot, and Kyra was out there going. Now I grew up with horses, and now she's out there. She has her boots on. She's ready to ride. She has on her shortcut shorts, going horseback riding. Liz gets the foot stepped on, and it.
Okay, keep it. Like, all right, let's move along. And so we see her and Jason out at the on the gazebo. Go ahead, talk about that.
Yeah, and
Flip
it
flop
was
the
sad.
asses.
What's that?
They flip flopping the asses.
It was sappy, it was syrupy, sassy, and I thought, okay, what is going on here? It was one of those, how you feeling? Oh, I'm feeling at peace. It seemed like somebody wrote scripts for them to keep talking about, and then look at you.
Listen, we still on the same page. Keep it going.
Yeah, because it
It was
was
so contrived.
Jason, how do you feel? Oh, I'm at peace. I just can't believe when a woman makes me feel at peace. And I appreciate what, and then she says, oh, I just appreciate you. I appreciate your consistency. He's like, whoa, I just didn't really think this is going to go like this. He said, Liz, she said, Jason. He said, I just can't wait. Next thing you know, they're kissing. And I thought, wait a minute.
I said, well, how the fuck did we build to this?
Okay, so it wasn't just me. Thank you, Auntie.
Listen, I was like, how did we be? Oh, you gonna rub my feet? The horse stepped on my feet. Oh my God, I'm cold. Oh, you want me? I just was like, bitch, if this ain't Nickelodeon-ish, like little kids with their first kiss. I said, how did this build to this? First of all, the gazebo, in my opinion, wasn't a romantic spot. There was nothing that would have sparked romance in me under a gazebo, right? Unless it was lit up and, wine and all. Jason doesn't have to wine and dine her because he knows she's vulnerable and broken because it didn't work out with David. So Jason doesn't have to do anything now.
That's right.
He don't have to work. He doesn't have to work, but he knows he has to work for Kyra.
Right.
And he likes Kyra intellectually, and he likes Liz physically because all he talks about is her lips, her hips, and her fingertips, and he totally sees her as a sex object. But what happens after that? We don't hear him say anything else about her.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to work because this woman who is vulnerable, who has unresolved issues with David, is now taking herself and rebounding to Jason.
And then they kiss, and he says, "Oh my God, I didn't intend to kiss her. I was going to wait." And listen, Jason, you intended to kiss. You definitely want to kiss. She's the prey in your eyes. She's the prize that you're looking for. And
she's the one he wants to bang.
Yeah.
But she the one he wants to hang up on the hang a marriage certificate on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously though, seriously, Bishop.
Uh-huh.
She's
Uh-huh.
not the one he wants to hang. He just want to bang her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's satisfied with that because she's broken. She has unresolved issues with David. And she should have self-eliminated because now she's looking stupid to me.
Yeah.
And
I
Kathy is just go ahead, Bishop.
no, I agree with you. When you say she has unresolved issues with David, I think David still has her attention wherever he has gone. He still has her attention. Yeah, yeah. That's that gazebo scene. I was just looking for the script. I was waiting for
Me
the
too.
violin
I was
music
like,
to
what the
play. Yeah, like the violin music, and somebody's going to bring him a tuxedo and her a wedding gown, and just I mean, what next? What's going to
when
show
we
up?
get married? It just was like so Nickelodeon-ish.
That's right.
I was
That's
like,
exactly
who
right.
wrote that?
Yeah.
I don't go ahead, Bishop. Keep
Well,
it there.
then off to your girl Alexis with AJ. And she was saying, well, I sent you a text message and I got no response. And so we
So
saw their
what?
conversation.
She is so needy. She needs affirmation all day long. She needs somebody to be up and under her ass. She needs somebody to tell her she's pretty. She needs to tell her that they want her. And if they don't respond to her immediately, she is ready to jump off a bridge, bitch.
Oh, and he
And he
said that.
said,
He said, don't jump off the roof.
yeah, and he said, why should I have to pay for what happened with your ex?
Yeah. Yeah.
But she said it. When she said, all these women was calling my husband, 1, 2, 3. That probably was an exaggeration. They probably was calling during normal business hours. But because she ain't getting affirmed and she's so jealous of other women, oh my God, the jealousy of other women is just sickening to me.
Yeah. I wondered, and you said this before. I wonder how they vet all of these people who show up. How do they screen them? What is the process? And I wonder when they, Alexis considers going on the show, have you looked at yourself and asked yourself, are you open? Are you really ready for this? Do you know what you present to a relationship? Have you handled your brokenness? I know that broken people will try to break other people.
Yes.
And when you are broken, sometimes you're breaking other people and you don't even know it. You're used to walking with a limp so much until when you put your arms around other people, they are feeling the weight of how you're limping because
Yes.
you haven't worked at healing yourself enough before you offer yourself to somebody. Heal yourself before you offer yourself to somebody.
Yes, Bishop. Break that down.
You have to. Because no, it is true. I'm a big proponent of that. When you know that you're broken and you're scarred, don't offer yourself to somebody for them to nurse you back to health. Do the best you can with your own wounds, with your own breaks, with your own tears, and then you say, okay, now I'm ready to go for a relationship. Because I don't want to offer somebody a lesser version of me than I really can.
And then the thing about it is she wanted him to validate what happened to her with Ron.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't fair to him.
Yeah. No.
She was talking about Ron to everybody because she was talking about Ron to Amber. And they was having prayer sessions, speaking in tongues. And
I'll be right back. You were so wrong for that. You were just so wrong.
And then she says, you was Judas, but we ain't at that part.
Let's get there. Let's fast forward, Auntie. Let's go there because now they want to get together. Somebody said, "Let's play a game. Let's play truth or dare."
And that was scripted.
Yeah. Because I haven't been around anybody playing Truth or Dare, I know, in 35 years. Who plays Truth or Dare?
At least 40.
Right.
At least 40. But again, Nickelodeon. Kids play. What's their targeted audience, Bishop? Because this stuff right here, at our age, maybe we just too damn old for it. But at this age, I'm not sitting around nobody playing no two for dead and having you have me kiss somebody for 5 seconds. What the fuck is that?
Or rub their feet for 10.
Is it true, Jason, that you like two women? Duh, bitch, everybody know that. Well,
It's
which
a
one do
show.
you like the most? I'll drink on that. Oh, well, you know what? He couldn't answer that question, even though he is dating 50 other bitches, but he couldn't answer that question. So now I don't know about him because every time his name come up, I always pick him first. What the? Help me. Help me. Are they playing?
Go ahead, Auntie. Go ahead.
Is
Go
it
ahead, please.
Bishop? This was so scripted, in my opinion. Very immaturely written, thought out. You made these people look like kids. You took this to one of them scary haunted movies. I know what you did last summer, or one of them little horror flicks. You know, where was you last summer, bitch? I wasn't on Ready to Love. But it just was so childish, and it just brought down the intelligence level of everybody in the room. I'm not gonna sit there and kiss nobody for no 5 seconds for y'all. And then it was so awkward.
Then it said,
So,
move your lips while you're kissing. Move your lips. Move your lips.
and she said they had to film it twice. Bishop, we don't need that.
No.
We don't need that. And that's probably, you know what? So next thing you know, they asked Liz, how did everything happen with David? You know, what happened? She said that David was disrespectful, belligerent, and all of that kind of stuff, and that he self-eliminated, and she felt like, you know, he took the easy way out. The
Mm-hmm.
next person they go to is Liz about Ron. Liz says, I mean,
Alexis.
Alexis says that she's never been disrespected like that in a conversation in a long time. Bitch, yes, you have.
Yeah. Probably so. Probably so.
Yes, you have. Because although AJ
It
said
just happened with AJ.
it just happened
AJ
to
said, listen,
AJ,
he said, listen, I'm not, you don't have to jump off a roof, Alexis.
back the fuck up. It just
Yeah.
happened with AJ. There was something else significant that AJ said that I can't even remember. But he tired of her. He don't want to be locked in this relationship with her
You're right. You're right.
at all. And so I am predicting that she is going to go home next week, bitch.
Well, before we send her home, Auntie, let's talk about the peaceful. So then, after the
Okay, I'm sorry.
would you know, after she got to that part, and she said, well, listen, hold on. He also told me during this elimination, she said, I just got to be true to myself. Da, 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 da. Amber, he told me that he went on a date with you. You kissed him. And I felt like I'm Judas. We were friends. We prayed together. Da, 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 and oh. And then Amber, I'm not going to talk about anybody, but it's going to come out in a minute. Amber then says, oh, she could have waited and she could have told me this. Well, Amber, maybe you could have kept your mouth shut when you went and asked Kyra and Joel. Well, Joel, wasn't Kyra your number one? So what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. You spilled the beans. You were the one who said to Joel, but wasn't Kyra your number one? And now you don't want Alexis to bring you out in the open. You can't have it both ways.
That's
You
that
cannot
bitch
have it
named
both
Karma.
ways.
That's that bitch named Karma. Karma, she doesn't care. She let her know immediately.
Uh-huh. And
Immediately.
there's, yeah. You can't explain that, Amber. You can't have it both ways.
And he
Auntie?
was like, oh, we got some stuff we need to talk about. Because Chris
Uh-huh.
was shocked.
Yes. Did you see his face?
And as a man, he got to try to keep it straight because men, for some people, are not allowed to be emotional.
That's right.
But he was like, "Whoa, what? Oh,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
why would she keep that relationship secret with Ron?
Who knows?
Why? What else significant happened, Bishop? Oh my God, I know you got to go.
No, but I think that took us to the end of it, and I was just not that I was upset that nobody was eliminated at the end of the show, but I was like you thinking, who are they going to send home? What is going on?
Alexis,
I got to write this down. This is your prediction. Hold on.
Alexis or Liz?
We see we're there. I'm with you.
Because I really do believe Liz need to go home. What you think?
The same. I'm with you.
But I'm gonna tell you who I really wanted to be.
Did you see me pause? It almost froze.
I really, for weeks, I've been wanting it to be Vernisha.
You wanted to go home.
I wanted it to be Vernisha because they penalized Chris for doing the same thing that Vernisha did this year. She logged into Joel and she never gave anybody else an opportunity. And Chris went home for that very same thing with Naya.
Hmm.
And if Joel had stuck to his plan with Kyra and actually pursued Kyra, Vernisha would be going home because that's the only person and that she had a connection with. But Chris went home, KJ went home last year for the same fucking thing.
Yeah, that strategy of locking into one person, put all his eggs in one basket. Sure did.
Look at this Bishop.
Remember reality, stay grounded. Bishop, you have a cute nose. Not sure how I found this channel, but thank you so much. I'll tell my dad is deceased, but my mama's still alive. It's a combination of theirs. I'll thank them for you.
You're gonna never be able to live that down. I saw that.
I have never heard that in my life, but thank you.
All right, so tell us in the comment section who you think are going to go home next week. What are your predictions? We really want to know. I am going to let Bishop go because he has an appointment and he's been so gracious to stay on with me. But I did want to make an announcement that we are going to come to you all for the finale with a live studio audience. Oh my God. So get ready, get ready, get ready to participate with us. Maybe you can have your own reality party or reality get together with your studio audience. And I promise if you send it to me, I'll run the clips. But we are going to have a live studio audience to wrap this season up. And we can't wait to share that with you. Bishop, any closing remarks?
Yeah. Put it in the comments, you all, if you want Auntie to wear those earrings that she has on. Put that in the comments. Let me tell you why. Because I've only seen her in those twice. She is off the chain. They look nice. They're hot on you. But she is off the chain when she wears those. So put that in the comments if you want Auntie to wear those
They were pretty
earrings.
expensive too, Bishop. These are pretty expensive. These are you can't really see because my green screen wanted to pick up, but these are Lily Puliters. Okay, and the women know. Okay.
I started to say this is like telling me it's go mow the grass earrings. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
They know.
You look beautiful though, absolutely beautiful. So y'all comment if you want Auntie to wear that. I can stick around for I got a couple minutes. I can stick around with Auntie. Yeah.
But we'll stick around backstage. Thank you all again so much for being here. Bishop, did you tell them earlier? Make sure you tell them where they can find you on YouTube. And my moderators, if you all can put that into the description, into the comments, I would appreciate that.
Let's talk to Cutler. Let's talk to Cutler.
Okay. Thank you all again so much for being here. We love you to pieces. Until next Sunday. Bye, y'all.
Bye bye.